For this video, I'm gonna try another midday catfishing trip out here fighting all the skiers and tubers. I was here just a couple weeks ago fishing this same lake, and I was using bluegill for bait. Now, if you watch that video, I had a ton of fish that just kept hitting. They'd get on a little bit and I couldn't hook them up because they couldn't get the bait in their mouth. I kept saying if we had shad, we'd be catching a ton of fish. Well, today I brought shad. I'm going to use smaller pieces. We're going to see how many we can catch. Unfortunately, the conditions have changed a little bit. We had a big cold front come through. It got down to almost 50 degrees last night. It's still supposed to get close to 80 today. And the water has been flowing a lot more than it was. I mean, last time I was out here, the water had been moving. But the last few days, there was a ton of rain. They had these dams wide open, and now they just shut them down. And with my experience, when they shut down these dams and the water stops moving, and it even happens on rivers when it's on a fall, the fishing just turns sour. So I'm gonna stay positive about it. I'm gonna get out here. I'm gonna try not to go crazy with all these waves and all these boats, but we'll see how many fish we can catch. That didn't take long. Caught a fish right off the bat. Hopefully that's a sign for a good, fun day. Seems like he's fighting me hard. It's more because my lines are so far back. This waves like they are, you gotta drag a long ways back to keep the bait down. First fish in 21.5 feet of water. Another one on. Feels like a little guy, but today, I'm just seeing how many I can catch. Having a hard time standing up in the boat at times. People are getting crazy out here. Got that line all slimed up. Running smaller hooks with these shad than I was with bluegill. These hooks are still pretty big for some of these fish's mouth. There's another. About 18 foot of water now. Still running along the channel. Just not making sure I stay in the very deepest part. I'm just out here leisure fishing, keeping on. These are bigger than I would want to keep to eat. Boy, if somebody wanted to catch eating size fish, they could come out here and take 9 or 10 of them. You're doing real good. Fish number 3. I hope we catch a whole bunch more. Another. Just trying to bait my pole from the last pit. Picked up another one. There, and he came off. Came off and pretty much destroyed my piece of bait. Got a little fighter on our hands. Roamed around a little bit, and if I venture anywhere outside of 18 to 21 feet, I can't even get a bite. Pretty good fish. There's another one. It is 20 foot on the nose right now. These fish are hitting weird today. Using circle hooks, you get them in the corner of your mouth most of the time, and I'm hooking them in the bottom jaw today, and I don't understand why that's happening. Feels really small. It's the first time in a while I've had one hook up on this middle pole. I think the problem with it is, look at that, came off again. I think the problem with that one not getting bites is it's pointing in the air, so it's bouncing around a lot more than these poles I've got down here on the side that are just laid down and dragging the bottom a lot smoother. I think I may switch out and go back to my bigger 8/0 hooks. This just isn't working out right now. Lost the last one. See if I keep this one on. Haven't had a double yet today. Kind of expected that to happen. Another good sized fish. This one's got a big bloated belly on it. It's another one. The color on this guy. That fish has been living deep. It's light color, it isn't yellow like that. Fish on. That's what I'm talking about, these waves getting crazy. It's 22 feet of water, again, where this fish came out of. They're all about the same size so far. Yep, there's another fish lost. I'm letting these fish take the rod holder, hook themselves up good, and somehow they're still coming off. Never had this happen so often. This fish bend it down for a little bit. Alright, pulled on him real good to see if that hook was set. Fish hitting on this pole right here. Might get our first double. Thought it was gonna happen, but looks like he wasn't big enough to keep the hook in him. Pretty good one. Got some spots on his back, and I don't know if you can see it, this fin right here, that thing's about gone. Look at the other one. He's been tore up by something. Where I keep catching these fish is in the main channel, but it's around a bend, and the hard part of the bend has quite a bit of current right now. It's right when I'm trying to drag baits upstream. I really have to turn the trolling motor up. So I tried that. I went right up that hard current. It didn't catch anything. All these fish I'm catching are in about a 250 yard stretch right after that current breaks. I mean, it's still in the bend, and it's in the main channel, but they're not wanting to be right in that current. And I think that has something to do with the water falling. I mean, when the water's rising, you can usually catch fish going up in creeks, going upstream, anything like that. But when it's falling, they usually come back down out of flooded creeks and such. So they're gonna do the same thing out in the lake. When the current starts backing down, they're gonna push back, and that's exactly what they have done here. They've pushed back to where there's just that little less current, and it's about 2 foot deeper than where that water's really coming in hard. Another one on. Every time I get a fish on, I'm starting to wonder if I'll even get it to the boat. That's how they're supposed to be hooked. Deep in the corner of the mouth. Another healthy looking little guy. he's still in the channel, just right on the edge of it. Took this pole in the middle and ran it way back there to try to get the smoothing out. That may have helped a little. Said circle hooks. This fish is hooked in the very top of his mouth. Just not normal. These circle hooks. Another one, I don't know how many that is, but got quite a few and haven't been out here very long. I thought this fish had came off. Must have been running at us. That one fooled me. I stopped drilling into it because it just felt like it was gone. Another one. I fished here a lot, and sometimes these fish will get in this area, and sometimes you just can't buy a bite here. I've spent several days in this little stretch not catching a single fish, and today they're in here good. That's why I just narrowed down to fishing this spot the rest of the day. These fish have all been about the same size today. I bet they haven't varied but a pound and a half apiece. Another one on, feels little. Stacked in this one spot today, right below where that current comes in. Ooh, said he felt little. That's easy release. Said he felt little, he's really not little. Probably getting up there to being the biggest fish of the day. I think I am going to call that last fish of the day. I've got beat around out here long enough. It seems like traffic's picking up, so it's just gonna get worse and worse. If you're gonna go out and fish on a crazy day like this, all this traffic, I'd say the most important thing you need to do is let a lot of line out. Really stretch it out there. If not, it'll be bouncing up and down so hard. those fish aren't going to want to hit it. My middle pole there has been up in the air, and it just hasn't been getting any action today, and it's been bouncing a lot more, even though I had a lot of line out. So I'd say that's the most important thing. And wherever you're fishing, even on a rough day like this, just break down that area. I started here, I went through, caught a fish immediately, and then I kept going, and I probably went close to, I'd say 1.5 miles, maybe 1.25 miles, and stopped getting bites. So I came back and I went through this same area again, caught a fish, had several bites, and then I narrowed it down even more. I just kept squeezing the area down to where the fish were, and I'd make a pass through it. I'd stop, come right back, and I just did that. I've caught quite a few fish today. Unfortunately, I didn't catch anything big, but I just looked at my phone. I've only been out here for 2 hours and 40 minutes. And on a rough day like this, I'd say we did pretty good. So thanks for watching. And if you haven't already done it, please hit that subscribe button.